Hello YouTube, got another review for you today. The Jordan Evolution 85 basketball shoe. Just to start, this is a casual shoe with basketball features. It's not a Jordan performance basketball shoe, but it does pretty well. Um, Talking about it aesthetically before I get into the performance, it has a lot of features built into it to make it attractive. For one, the bright red midsole, the elephant print on the heel cup, which runs down the side of the shoe, and it's like a ice. They would call this iced because it's translucent. You can kind of see through it. The bright red collar. Um, Also, this lining right here, this lining, this lining on the side, and the Jordan symbol. This is all patent leather. Also, it has this nice. This is like a very fine. I think it's a suede tongue, and it also has some dot pattern right here. I don't know what it means, but it's there. Also on the bottom, where you would traditionally have a higher performance traction pattern on the ball of your foot, Jordan chose to go with an Air Jordan symbol, for aesthetics, making the shoe more attractive. Anyways, let's get down to the performance aspects of the shoe if you do choose to buy it as a basketball shoe, because a lot of people are interested in the actual performance review of this shoe. So let's break it down and start from the bottom. One, you'll see it has a herringbone pattern, and it's not just a normal one. It's specifically a pronated herringbone pattern, which means the lateral side has a pattern instead of the medial side. And if you don't want to know what pronation means, it means you stride from the outside of your foot, you land right here on the outside, and then you transfer through to the inside of your toe, your big toe, from here and across. And that's just called pronation, and most people do it. So that's why that's built that way, is for pronation. So this isn't really a problem. This shoe grips fine. Uh, Even though this is an attraction pattern, I haven't had any slipping with this shoe, so I wouldn't exactly say this is a problem because this is still rubber. Very jelly rubber. It's really grippy. Also, you'll see this gray piece. This is I guess you could say this acts as a midfoot shank. It's just connected to this gray piece which runs around the shoe, and this just shows you where the Air Max is, which you can actually see through the heel. You can actually see the Air Max inside the shoe. So the cushioning on it is actually pretty good. After all, this midfoot shank as well, it does work. As you can see, it doesn't bend in the middle, so you do have arch support there. Throughout the shoe, it does have Air Max, but it's not full length. It stops somewhere between half and 3/4 way. This is all Air Max for sure, but I don't know how far it goes. I know it's not here in the toe, or maybe even in the forefoot, but that's okay because it does have this cush line that runs full length, so you do have cushioning. It's not completely desolate of cushioning. It does have some full length system. Moving on to the upper of the shoe, starting with the back, it does have this iced heel cup, which is sort of bendable. This isn't bending easy. I am squeezing a good bit on it. So it does act as a pretty good heel cup, and it does wrap all the way around the heel, both sides. So it acts as a good heel cup. It does a pretty good job of holding the heel in place. It has this pull tab. I don't even know if people use these anymore. No one really has a problem getting their shoes on. Probably there for aesthetic purposes to add more red into the shoe. Um, Anyways, probably the same thing with this collar. But moving on with the actual collar of the shoe, right up here. Um, it a lot of people want to hear whether or not it has an inner sleeve because inner sleeves are comfortable. And the strange thing about this shoe is yes and no, it has an inner sleeve. Yes, it has a heel inner sleeve. You know, you can see the leather right there, and then the inner sleeve right there. So it does have one in the heel, but also this tongue, if you can see, it's a separate piece. The tongue isn't connected to the rest, which means no, from here forward, it is not an inner sleeve. It's a tongue and a upper, so you can feel both. So it's not as comfortable as a shoe with a inner sleeve, but that's fine. On the inside, you know, scoot these laces out of the way. You'll just find gray and a red Jordan, a red Air Jordan in the bottom. That's it. Nothing else really design-wise to speak of. There is this very smooth and cushioned red, and it's very comfortable. It's a I don't know what exactly kind of cushioning it is, but there is cushioning. There's more of it in the heel than there is in the tongue, but it's not a problem on either one. The cushioning's great on it. Um, One thing that also points out that this is a casual shoe and not a performance shoe is that this tongue is mesh all the way down. This is mesh, and the inside isn't. So any kind of breathability that you're getting through the tongue is stopped right here. So breathability, which I'm gonna get to that when I get to the entire shoe and I give it an overview. The breathability on the shoe is almost not there. Uh, Saying that ahead of time. Moving on to the rest of it. This it actually is listed as a what they say a second strap. You know, there's this one here, but they call this a strap system because when you lace it up, let me just pull this tight. You know, it connects. I guess if you had tiny ankles, but in actuality, if you tighten up the shoe normally, like you would be wearing it, it would look something like this. And it does perform better than a normal ankle strap, minus a hyperdunk because a hyperdunk has terrific ankle support. But it doesn't replace an ankle strap. It's better than a normal ankle, but it doesn't beat an ankle strap. The lacing system, if you can see, these are separate pieces right here. These are separate pieces, and they run down inside of the shoe. And I don't like that because when you actually lace this thing up tight to play basketball in it, you can see that the sides bunch up, and it makes for a weird feel, not exactly uncomfortable, but different. Uh, and I just feel like it would have probably more lockdown if they hadn't done that and just went with a traditional lacing system. But anyways, it's not a problem. It feels a little different, but not bad. It's not a bad feeling. It's just different. Um, it does have a 4-foot strap that actually works really well. This is a very good 4-foot strap. It's not just here for looks. It works. Um, you can tighten it tight enough to where you won't want to play with it more than 10 minutes. So, I mean, you can tighten it as far as you want. Uh, the leather on the upper, and by the way, if I haven't mentioned, the entire upper is leather. This is leather, this is leather, this is all leather, the strap is leather. And this red lining and the Jordan is patent leather. So it is all leather, so it does look nice. But it's perforated all the way throughout. Even on the collar, it's perforated. But anyone that's worn like more than one basketball shoe, you know that perforations just don't really work anymore. I mean, there's such better systems. Like there's the Hyperfuse out, which has that new system that works really well, and then there's the Kobe 6 has that honeycomb tongue that does a great job of providing breathability. This though, probably non-existent. It's very bad. I wouldn't really say anything nice about it. Um, Fits, I would say true to size or possibly slightly big. Not even a half size though. It's not as snug as some of my other shoes. And that might just be because of the lacing system. So let's just go with that. Take back what I said. It does fit true to size. It just fits a little different because of this lacing system. So true to size. Get your own shoe size. So overview of the shoe. The cushioning is good. It's not full length though. In fact, I wore this all day and I started to have some discomfort in the forefoot. But you know, if you're only going to play for an hour, 2 hours, maybe even 3 hours, it should be fine. I mean, I was on it for 10 hours and I started to have problems. So hopefully you won't be playing 10 hours a day unless you're just a basketball fanatic. Cushioning, I would give it a 8.5 overall. Overall, an 8.5 because it does do a good job halfway, 3/4 of the shoe, and even in the forefoot, it's not bad. It's just not the best. Breathability, like a 5 out of 10. It's not very good at all. Lockdown and the ankle, it's the ankle package is all right, about an 8. It's not too terribly great, but it's good. Forefoot lockdown, it's really good, so I'd give it a 9. Weight, it's not a heavy shoe, but it's heavier than a performance basketball shoe. Probably closer to 15, 16 ounces and a 10. Anyways, it's a sharp looking shoe. It'll get you a lot of comments, a lot of looks. Pick it up if you can. It's a nice shoe, good to play basketball in. Anyways, that's my review on the Jordan Evolution 85. Rate, comment, and subscribe.